Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Fawson.
I'm Greg Fawson. We do the broadcast. I'll be scooting out here to go play tennis in the field.
I'm Dr. Christine Garcia. I'll be doing the reading.
I'm Jake Fernandez.
Hi, I'm Paul Lancelot, your musical spiriteer for today's service.
So let's get started with an evocation. If you would close your eyes, turn within, and recognize that right where you are, pure spirit exists in all its glory and splendor. There's nothing outside of that. There's only the divine life of God having its essence through and as you. So I know that this day is a day of upliftment, of inspiration, of joy, of freedom, of clarity. And I know that it is all shows up in this service, that together we uplift each other and find that divine path that we were brought here to journey on, knowing that everything is in perfect order no matter where we are on our path. So I send out blessings to everybody who's tuned in and turned on to this service, knowing that it is good and very good. And for this and so much more, I'm eternally grateful. Grateful for life, my life, the life of each person here, life itself. And in this state of absolute bliss, I say thank you, Spirit. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
Paul Lancelot. That's what they was.
When I was a boy each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the times Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Water is not so small. An even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the balancing thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. Water was rare at best. I barely wet my fingertips. Now I've got to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. the Testament, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now.
Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
I love that song. Okay, we're going to take care of some business and we'll be back to you for another song.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The mission for the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro is to create an open, accepting learning environment that recognizes and embraces diversity, peaceful resolution to conflict in personal and community relationships, and help make the world a better place.
Mm-hmm. So it is.
And so it is. So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro, and check out our website, cslnorthmetro.org. Go to contact us and add yourself to the email list. You can go to the prayer request and request a prayer, and we'll pray on it all week. And the affirmations and the prayers are out there, and Reverend Michael's blog is out there.
I know you
It's
are.
time for another one. Yeah, but if you haven't read last month's, they're all out there, so they're all really good reading. So today's title is The Divine Self. Our guest artist you've already met, Paul Lansdale. And today's reading is from A Pilgrim in Aquarius by David Spangler.
Now we bring forth. There she is. Ernestine. Hi.
Oh, it must be time for affirmations. Hello.
Must be, we're excited.
Okay, affirmations for the week of April 2nd, 2023, written by Stephen Anthony. Please repeat after me. True joy and peace radiate from within the core of my being.
True joy and peace radiate from within the core of my being.
Spiritual freedom and expansion bless my every experience.
Spiritual freedom and expansion bless my every experience.
My body, mind, and spirit exist in perfect health and harmony.
My body, mind, and spirit exist in perfect health and harmony.
With each breath that I let all negativity drift away.
With each breath, I let all negativity drift away.
My hopes and dreams are made manifest by my powerful beliefs.
My hopes and dreams are made manifest by my powerful beliefs.
I am grateful for all the love present in and as my life.
I am grateful for all the love present in and as my life.
And together we say,
And so it is.
Okay, today's reading is from the book A Pilgrim in Aquarius by David Spangler. The moment when the sacred world breaks through into our human world may not be one of ecstatic visions of glory and God. It can be, and usually is, a far more simple and direct and natural than that. So much so, we can miss the experience altogether because it is not what we are expecting when we think of connecting to the sacred. We grossly overlook the quality of simplicity. We may think of the sacred world as a time and place where we talk and walk with angels, for example. But walking and talking with an angel is really fundamentally no different from walking and talking with an ordinary human being. Both the angel and the person are expressions of the ultimate mystery. Both are emanations of the beloved. We may get different kinds of experiences and information from an angel than from a human, but we won't get a different kind of sacred. There is only one sacredness, and we all have it. The paradox is while we look for the extraordinary, the sacred itself is exquisitely ordinary. How could it be otherwise, since it is the essence of all things? And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a good reading.
And I just want to say thank you to Stephen Anthony. He's been writing the affirmations and the spiritual mind treatments or affirmative prayers that you see out on our website for a really long time, every single week for us. So thank you. And he always comes up with something new. So Stephen, thank you.
We love you.
We do.
Now, speaking of love, Paul Lansell, we love you.
We do.
Sit down, take a breath, relax, unwind. Don't need any more facts to find peace of mind. Going within, coming out with a grin, longing for this moment of bliss. Maybe losing my mind just to be aware of the presence within, the quiet prayer. Oh, love divine, blaze within this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, all around this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, I am found in this heart of mine. Dislocated my ego. Ouch. What a shame. What am I anyway? A speck of dust with a name. Out of the great unknown into flesh and bone. A traveling soul trying to call home. Maybe losing my mind just to be aware of the presence within, quiet prayer. Oh, love divine, blaze within this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, all around this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, I am found in this heart of off quite a buzz, much bigger now than it ever was. I'm just chasing time between Venus and Mars. I take a glass of midnight, drink in the stars. Maybe losing my mind just to be aware of the presence within, a quiet prayer. Oh, love divine lays within this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, all around this heart of mine. Oh, love divine, I am found in this heart of mine.
Wow.
Oh, that was splendid. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much.
Sure,
We'll see you in a bit.
you will.
I just love those two songs he sang today.
No.
They just really put me in a good place. Do you know that you're a transformation waiting to happen? That something glorious is just waiting right within you, ready to burst out and become something more, so glorious that you couldn't even stop and think about it. It's about to happen. And what I know to be true is when you discover your divine self, not the doing self, not the busy self, not the self that's got to get everything done, got to get it right, the divine self. I like those two words, divine and self. I like them together because divine is of, from, as, through God. It is God as us. And the self is the self that that knows no labels. It's unlabeled other than the self. It's beyond male and female, beyond father, mother, beyond boss, worker. It's beyond all that. It's the uniqueness of you. The self, the true self is the uniqueness of you. And from that perspective, we can live from glory to greater glory just by knowing that, just by bringing our awareness to that idea that we are made in the likeness and allness of God. And to stray from that and get busy takes you away from the experience of the divine self. I like to compare the divine self to I am, the I am presence, because you can put I am, you can put anything after I am, and that empowers it. I am glorious. I am peace. I am harmony. I am abundantly wealthy. I am totally healthy. I am that I am. And the I am has no boundaries, has no limits, has no restrictions. It's within you. It is you. And more than that, it is the glory of God made as you. That's something to celebrate every single day, every single moment. Just close your eyes for a few seconds. All the sounds around you, it's all God. Just feel your vibration. Feel the vibration of your soul. And know right where you are, the divine self is. Open your eyes again. You know, we come here to learn. That's the way I see it. We come here to learn from everything that happens in our lives, and that means we wanted to experience the world of opposites, because in the opposites we know what is true about ourselves. In other words, love is a glorious thing, hate is a scary thing. But those two opposites, if we didn't have hate, we wouldn't know love. And it gives us a chance to have a deeper sense of love. In other words, if I'm hating somebody, what does that do to me? It does damage. So what my calling is to fill that hate with love, because love is the only thing that can do it. Opposites: joy, sadness, peace, chaos, freedom, subjugation. That's even hard to say. Do want that one come out of my lips. It's all the same thing. Whatever you're experiencing, if you're experiencing being locked up, then unlock your mind and see beyond whatever you think's got you in prison. Because when you unlock your mind, you've freed yourself. I've met an individual a long time ago who went to jail falsely, and he found his freedom in jail. He said while he was out in the world, he was never really free. He was always afraid of something getting him, afraid of this, afraid of that, blaming everybody. But when he got into prison, he started reading books, and he had not that it was a place where you go to get tan and stuff like that. No, he was surrounded by all of this energy that these individuals were experiencing by being locked up, but he raised above it, and we can too. When I hear the word sisterhood and brotherhood, I think of it in a different way. I think of it as selfhood, because selfhood is the living in the elevated place. And when I mean elevated, I mean having the presence of mind to experience the energy without taking it in, but experience it and being able to shift whatever energy you're going through. So if I remember one time walking downtown Los Angeles, and I was doing some work down there, and I went to go get my car, and the car, the car didn't owe the money. I owed some money for parking there, and I didn't have the right amount of money. So I had to walk to the bank, and I walked through this area that I could just feel the energy just pulling me down, because there was so much poverty, there was so much pain and agony. There was people sleeping on the streets, and at that point in my life, I wasn't prepared to shift my consciousness, so I didn't absorb this energy. So I was depressed for like 2 days just by walking downtown, and it gave me the opportunity to look at what it is I need to do to not absorb that kind of energy, because I'm a divine selfhood. I am the answers. I am the questions. I am the direction. I am the journey. And knowing that, then no energy can penetrate my being. but I can uplift the energy that's around me. And again, it's just a matter of wanting to be aware of who you are and doing the work. When we experience these things on our journey, because it is a divine journey, and everybody I've ever met all have great stories. Once they started their spiritual awakening, have great stories of pain and that they have raised above, of fear that they've raised above. And those stories are what keeps us in line. In other words, I'll tell you a story that just came to me. I talk about selfhood. Well, to me, the opposite of selfhood is self-willhood, using our self-will to get past anything. In other words, living by the ego. So, long time ago in Fresno, Reverend Valerie was with me. I was called by a real dear friend of mine. He was a professor at Fresno State, and he called and said, there was this group of people, something happened to, and I can't remember what happened to them, but something bad happened to them. And the community, the multi-faith community, wanted to do something to honor them. So they, him and some other people organized a prayer vigil, a place where the ministers could all speak their word and know the truth about these people. And then there would be a ceremony. So he called me up and said, would you like to do a 2-minute talk? I thought, yeah, that's what I live for. And so I said, yes, I'll do that. So he gave me 2-day notice, and it was going to be on a Saturday. And Friday, I spent the day just working on this talk, because 2-minute talk is hard for a minister. It takes more work to work on a 2-minute talk than it is 20-minute talk, because you got to focus it. Well, anyway, I was really proud of this talk that I was going to do. I knew it was going to be great. So I show up. It was at City Hall, and there was tons of people there wanting to participate, to support this group of people that whatever happened to them. And we were guided to this place that was in the shade, because it was outdoors. And if you know Fresno, it's hot there, hot, hot, hot. And this thing was going on and on. So the professor came by and says, you all right? I go, yeah. I go, is there an order to, when will I be up? Is there an order to this? And he goes, not really. I said, okay. So it kicks off, and the first person that starts talking is the mayor of the city. And I had thought that it was going to be just ministers talking, because that's what this professor told me. So I thought, okay. And then there was the congressman, then there was the sheriff, and there were all these politicians talking. And they finally started getting to the ministers. And these individuals weren't limited to what they could, how long they could speak. So at some point, the professor got up and said, well, we're running over time, so we have to move on and get the ceremony going. And I thought, wait a minute, didn't he ask me to do a 2-minute talk? And I felt kind of bad all of a sudden, because I got this great talk, and it seemed like all the other people were talking about the negativity of what took place, instead of talking about the upliftment and giving hope. And I was like, my talk had all that. I was just ready to just kick, you know what? And I started feeling really sad. And then I started feeling guilty about being sad, because this wasn't about me. It was about these people that we were talking about. And so I went through this guilt and sadness, and I was fighting within me, because here I am, big bad minister, and I'm supposed to not have these feelings. Yeah, right. Ministers have them worse than anybody else because we know the difference. Well, anyway, it goes on and on and on. I'm fighting, and I finally, it gets to the place where the thing was over, and the professor gets up there and he goes, and I'd like to thank all these organizations that we didn't have enough time for to give up and talk. And he starts naming all the organizations, and he doesn't name ours. And now I'm angry. Not only was I'm getting like the hell of ministerial hell, having all these feelings going through me, and I'm fighting. Well, I got supposed to be above this. I can't be angry and sad and miserable and all these things. And I was just like, and this, if you knew this professor, he's the most loving, kind person, just a gentle soul. And I know he didn't do it on purpose, but it's like, what about me? The old ego was just running rampant. And so I go home. It was during the Olympics. I remember that. So I go home and watch the Olympics. I thought, I can't deal with this anymore. And we go to bed, and I can't go to sleep because this is still going through my mind. So I decided I'm going to pray. And I just started praying. And I don't know how long I prayed in my sleep. And I don't think I got to the release part. But when I woke up in the morning, I felt like something had been lifted in me. And I was okay. Everything was all right. So I have breakfast, and a little later, the professor calls me. And he shares that he'd been going through all this hell because he forgot to mention us at the service. And I shared my story with him, and we just laughed and laughed and laughed and got past that thing where our ego needs to be fed and allowed our true self, the divine self, take over. And for me, remembering that story, always when something happens and it seems like it's happening to me and not by me, I can think of that story and remember that the glory of God made me rise above it and live my life in sacredness. Mm-hmm. And all it takes is our awareness. Yeah. No matter what you're going through, all it takes is your awareness of who you are. In that given moment that you think somebody's doing something to you, or you're feeling sadness over something, just remember who you are. A child of God. Child of God. Well, that's the end of my story.
That's about the end of our talk, too.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe you should just go ahead and do the prayer so that we can get on with it. Otherwise, we'll be over.
Let's go over it.
Well, all right. They'll cut us off. That's okay.
I don't think they'll cut us off.
No, YouTube will, but that's okay. So I was reading this thing called You this week because whenever I'm looking for something, I just pick out a book, and that one's been coming up quite a bit lately. And Ernest says, you are part of the universal mind, one with universal substance. You live, move, and have your being in pure spirit. All the wealth, the power, the goodness of the spirit exists at the center of your being. You experience this good in such a degree as you accept, believe, and feel it. Mm-hmm. So we know that in our heads. We know that we're one with the spirit. We know that we're one with God. We know that we're divine beings. And we keep having these human experiences like the one Reverend Michael just talked about, where we start identifying with our thoughts. And our thoughts tell us things like what the heck? Or I shouldn't be here. Or this person shouldn't have done that to me, or on and on and on, you know. And so as we identify with our thoughts, then we forget who we are. And we start being the human part of the being and not the divine part of the being. And so the whole idea of understanding that we're one with spirit, that we're in this body for the experiences to identify, to understand that we're not those experiences. We're having those experiences for our growth, and we're having those experiences to rise above. Whether it's a good thing that's happening and you're really being lauded, or whether you were forgotten, we're still always more than that. We're still always one with the Spirit, one with God, one with all that is. And so as we get connected with our thoughts, oh, I like this one too. I'm going to say it this way because he says it so good. You are either attracting or repelling according to your mental attitudes. And so when we're connected, we're attracting good things. When we're in the human part of us thinking that the things matter and the status matters, and then we have those problems. He says, guard your thoughts, keep them free of doubt and fear. And so as we understand love and happiness are qualities of the soul, and we're not our body. And so whatever happens to our body, whatever happens on this planet, whatever things we go through, experiences we go through, we are not that. We're always, always more than that. So change happens to things, but not the soul. Things happen to the bodies, but not the soul. And so as we begin to understand that, and I think that's exactly what you were talking about, is rising from the thing to the beingness, the oneness, the isness, this is who I came here to be. This is how I came here to be. And we let our light shine. Then as we're beginning to let our light shine, as we're realizing who we are, as we're accepting, wow, I am so much more than this thing that's going on around me, then we are one with God, and then we are creating the things that we want. And I think that we have a tendency, I think we're kind of brought up that way. I mean, we go to school and everything matters, and the grades matter, and the books matter, and who's top of the class matters, and we get a job, and then, you know, there's all this stuff we have to do, and then that matters, and then we have all these other things going on, and then that matters. And sometimes in all the busyness, we forget who we are. And I'm not saying don't do a good job, and I'm not saying let's enjoy the things we do. I can remember I was in banking for a really long time. And I can remember, I've probably said this before, sitting at the mahogany desk in the glass room, finally being the vice president of the bank, and realizing, I don't think this is who I came here to be. I think anybody could do this. I think I'm supposed to be doing something else, but I don't know what the something else is. But I think this isn't it. And I was still in that spot of, yeah, but it took me a really long time to get here, and I worked really hard for this thing. And so Spirit kicked me in the butt, and they eliminated my job. And I wasn't surprised, because I knew it was time to figure out who who I came here to be, and I was more than that.
Mhm.
You know, it's like everything that we get attached to, we're more than that. And I'm not saying don't enjoy it, because I enjoy my garden as much as anybody. I enjoy my flowers as much as anybody. And dear God, too. And so as we begin to be aware of the truth of our being, that yes, we're living on this plane, and yes, things happen, and sometimes there are things we don't want, and sometimes there are things that make us feel really bad. And if we do the work like Reverend Michael did of say, you know, just I'm more than this. This experience happened, but I'm not that experience. This experience happened and it was really good, and I'm not that experience either, because I'm eternal and I'm eternally one with the one power and the one presence, and I'm always okay. And I'm always loved, and I'm always divine. And so I'm just inviting us as we go through the human things in our lives, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to have those human experiences, and it's a privilege to be here, to have these human experiences. It's a privilege to get to live in this human body and recognize we're more than that. It's a privilege to have our house and our car and our gardens and our jobs and all those things. It's a privilege. And as we begin to appreciate that which we came here to be and recognize that, yes, this is great, and I'm always more than that. I'm always one with the one. I'm always full of love. I'm always full of joy. As we recognize that, then we can step it up a little. And sometimes we can step it up a big amount. Do you have something else you want to add?
No, I feel good.
All right, so I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As we recognize there's only that one life, that one power, that one infinite intelligence in, as, and through all that is. In, as, and through my life. In, as, and through the life of each person here today, whether you're here in person or online, or whether you watch it later. Everyone and everything is one with the one. There is no separation. There is only that one power, that one presence. And so I know for each one of us, love and peace and joy and abundance and prosperity and radiant health. I move out across the planet in all the places where there is war and poverty. And I know for each person, safety and love and peace and enough. I know joy. So I'm just surrounding us all with that love and that peace and that joy and that wonder and that amazing experience of recognizing the oneness. That each one of us is one with the one with each other, and one with all that is, that there is no separation. In absolute gratitude for knowing this is true, and gratitude for being here today on this planet, doing this thing. I just release this word, knowing that it's done in the mind of God, knowing there's nothing more for me to do but release it into the spirit of love, into the action of the law. And together we say, and so it is.
When the rain is flowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you a warm embrace, make you feel my love. Evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one to dry hold you for a million years, make you feel my love. Evening shadows and the stars appear. I could hold you for a million years, could offer you a warm embrace, make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet. I could never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do, make you feel my love. Storms are raging on a rolling sea, and on the highway of regret, winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, make you happy, make your dreams come true, make you feel my love, make you feel my love.
Wow.
There's been a shift in you, Paul.
There's a shift.
Yeah.
There's definitely a shift. That one reading that was done last week from the Scattered Brotherhood. Whoa, I'm still digesting that one. That was a really good one.
Well, you're really glowing. There's something great happening, and I just want to witness it for you.
Thank you.
So we'll be back to you shortly as soon as we take care of some business. And thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So you've been thinking about it. You've been giving it some thought. Should I give or should I not give? Well, I vote for give. So now's your opportunity. We thank you for even the thought of wanting to do it. But go ahead, take a leap and support us, because we're here to support you in any way we can. So thank you. And
So go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple ways to give out there. And our address is there too. If you're a person that writes checks, we take those too. So, all right.
so
Thank you.
point your palms towards the screen or towards us, this basket, and repeat after me. Dear Spirit,
Dear Spirit,
I'm so thankful for the abundance in my life.
I'm so thankful for the abundance in my life.
I know it keeps multiplying and growing and expanding.
I know it keeps multiplying and growing and expanding.
And from that expansive place, I now give from my heart.
And from that expansive place, I now give from my heart.
And I know that which I give is spread across this planet
And I know that which I give is spread across this planet
and touches many hearts
and touches many hearts
and comes back fulfilled.
And comes back fulfilled.
For this and so much more,
For this and so much more.
I say thank you and let it be.
I say thank you and let it be.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Song about gratitude. I'm shaking hands with the past. It's all over now. It was never meant to last. Never meant to last. I know everything gonna be alright, 'cause today I'm gonna have the time of my life. Time of my life. As long as I have a heartbeat, I have enough to eat. I still get around. I've got another day above ground. I'm making peace with my ambitions. How much can I do in the time I have left? The time I have left. I have a sense of direction. How far can I go in just one day? Just one day. As long as I have a heartbeat, I have enough to eat. I still get around. Got another day above ground. I'm making friends with uncertainties. These days, God works in mysterious ways. Mysterious ways. I called up my future. I left a message. I'll see me when I get there. I'll be a blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise. Long as I have a heartbeat, I have enough to eat. I still get around. Got another day above ground. Another day above ground. Another day.
Yeah. What I'm talking about. That was great. Yeah.
That's right.
That was
Love
awesome.
that song.
Thank you.
Oh, what a wonderful day. And we didn't run over time.
We didn't?
No.
Wow. How about that?
So,
Perfect.
anybody has any thing they'd like to say to us before we sign off and go to Zoom?
Two.
I guess
I just got
Oh, go ahead, Paul.
I just remembered a quote from Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh asked Piglet, "What day is it?" And Piglet said, "Why, it's today." And Winnie the Pooh said, "Great, that's my favorite day."
I like that. Yeah, mine is just a reminder that I'm not my thoughts, I'm the thinker behind it. And always good to remember.
Yeah. Glorious expressed as only you can.
That's right.
All right. You want to give them
The spiel.
the spiel?
So join us on Zoom right after this. We have a wonderful time on Zoom talking about whatever it is we talk about today. And Sometimes it's what happened in the service, sometimes it's other things, but it's always wonderful. And so the link is in the comments. If you miss it there, it's on our website, cslnorthmetro.org. Go to the calendar, and the Zoom link is always just right there. And there it is. So, all right.
So let's close our eyes again. I'll pray us out. With absolute certainty, I know that the glory of God is present in every moment, in every soul, in every planet, in every star, in every grain of sand. For God is everywhere, in all things, all life, all expressions. And I know as we go through this next week, we go through with certainty, knowing our own selfhood, knowing the divine that expresses uniquely through each and every one of us. And we share it with the world. We share our being with the world, and it makes it a better place.
Yes.
So I see for everybody this week, getting everything they need to carry them through. I know that each individual within the sound of my voice is a true blessing to our spiritual center, to this planet, to the universe. For this, I'm eternally grateful.
Yes.
Grateful for all that is. Grateful for this day. And in this gratitude, I let go. And together let us say,
And
so it is.
So it is.
Thanks, everybody.
See you on Zoom.